Hello kids, I hope you all are doing well, keeping safe and washing your hands regularly. My name is Kritage and welcome to the first class on photography basics. Also kids, do remember to make the submission of your pictures at the end of this video. The steps to make the submission on our portal is mentioned here.
Hi everyone, we are excited to have you here in today's fun-filled learning session at YOLO. Here is a quick look at how you can submit your work after the class. As a first step, go to live.yolo.com. You can use any browser to access this site. On this page, you will see a list of all our classes. Scroll down and you can see the Submit Your Work button. And then you will see a list of the classes that you've last attended, which could, for example, show the dance or craft or science experiment classes you've attended recently. Next, it will show you the list of children whose names are registered in this mobile number. Choose your name from this list to submit your work. For instance, if you are Satvik Kumar, choose that name. And then choose the class for which you would like to make your submission. For example, if you've attended the New Year's Masquerade Party session, and you'd like to make the submission for this class, click on the Submit Your Work button below that. And then upload the photo you've taken. Choose the image from your phone and click Submit. You can scroll down and view all your past submissions and see how many of your friends or peers have liked your work. You can also see others' work and like their work to inspire your friends. If you want to showcase your work on social media, that too is very simple. Click on Share, copy the link and post it on Instagram or Facebook or any other platform of your choice. Just a tiny reminder, your submission looks a lot better if you could click a photo in the landscape mode rather than the portrait mode. Do not forget to tag us at YOLO_app. I'm eagerly looking forward to all your submissions right after this class.
If there are any other of your friends that might want to join this course, do invite them as well. We'll be starting shortly. I am a photographer and these are the pictures that I've clicked in the last 4 years of my photography journey. Try keeping a smartphone handy if you have one with you, as I'll be walking you through some of the basics of the camera on your mobile phone. A lot of people think that camera, a professional camera, a DSLR is important for taking good pictures, but most of the pictures that I've shown earlier in this video were captured on my smartphone itself. And thus, knowing your gear, knowing your capabilities of the camera, the device that you have available is more important than having a good device. So in this course, I'll teach you how you can use the camera in your phone available so that you can take pictures like this and the best pictures possible from your smartphones. There are different styles of photos that exist in the photography space. The styles of photos can be portrait photos, can be landscape photos, can be photos of food, can be even selfies. Selfies are also a type of photos, and taking good pictures, good selfies, that is also a skill that some people only have. I'll walk you through the type of photos one by one. So we'll start off with what is architectural photography. When I talk about architecture, it is basically any building, any man-made structure that is there. And when we capture, when we click pictures of those particular buildings, then that is what is known as architectural photography. So as you see here, in this picture, it is a picture of a building which has been taken with road in front of it. It has very beautiful skies and we call it a architectural photo where I show a building in it. Then if I see the next picture, it is also building of some sort where you can see maybe a few trees, you can see some plants here and there, some small plants, you can see a building in the background, but all of it combined It is a architectural photo, as you see a building in it, which has been made by a man, and thus this type of photos are called as architectural photos. I hope that is clear to you all. Yes. Then we'll move on to the next type of photos, which are in general creative photos. Now, what are creative photos? Like, this whole concept of photography is creative, but then there are some type of concept photos that people click which are based on some ideas, and those ideas can be different, and you can think of it as you may like. But then for example, if you see in this particular picture, which place is this? Can you guys guess which place of India this is? Yes, this is the Red Fort of India, located in Delhi, the national capital of India. And Red Fort is also there on a 500 rupee note that is valid in India. And since both of these things are same, there is a Red Fort in the background, which is the actual fort present in Delhi, and someone is holding a 500 rupee note which also shows the Red Fort. So this is some sort of a concept that I came up with while clicking this picture, and thus you can see that it kind of merges. It kind of looks like the Red Fort is continuing. It's going from the actual fort to the 500 rupees ka note, and thus this is some sort of a concept, something very creative that the photographer had thought of. Then if I look at the next picture in the creative field, it is someone holding a phone, and there's a very beautiful scenery in the background, a river flowing, there's a sun in the background, there are trees, there's a path going, and the person has held the phone and it shows through the phone ki you see the trees and the river continuing from the phone and to outside the phone, and it looks really beautiful with the sunset in the background. You see some part of the sun in the phone, you see some part of the phone in the picture behind, and thus it makes the picture look very, very beautiful. It's a natural scenery, but then adding that phone, seeing the river and the trees through the phone makes the picture a little more beautiful and a little more creative in itself. Thus this could be called as a concept, some sort of creative thing that the photographer had thought of. All right. Any doubts till now? Okay, so we'll move on to the next creative picture that I have to show you guys. This is the picture of which place? Do you guys want to guess which place this is in India? Yes, this is the Gateway of India, located in Mumbai. What you see in this picture is that Gateway of India is coming out of the phone, which is not actually possible in real life, right? This is a concept, this is an idea that someone had thought of, that Gateway of India, if coming out of someone's hand through a phone, would look really nice. And it does. Like, the Gateway of India should not ideally come out of a phone, and it is in this particular picture, which makes someone looking at this picture say ki, wow, this is something very different from what we have ever seen in our lives. So thus this makes this picture very creative, very unique in itself, and this is what creative and concept based, idea based photography is. Then we'll move on to the next picture, the next style, which is capturing events. Maybe it could be a dance event, maybe it could be a music event, it could be maybe a concert. So these things are what we call as event photography. We capture some live event which is not staged. Like, you don't tell people that you have to pose like this. This is some sort of maybe a musician playing something standing on a stage, and we capture that in real life. We capture those moments, those things that are happening there in real life. We capture that, and that is called event photography. It is not just limited to a musical event or a dance event. It could be, let's say, a poetry event, it could be someone's birthday party or anything. Any such event is, and when we click pictures at those events, that is called as event photography. So as you see, this is a picture clicked from a stage from behind the performer, जो perform कर रहा है उसके, we have clicked it from behind the person, and you can see the crowd in this picture. You can see some sort of, you know, confetti, some sort of celebrations flying around to maybe celebrate the music. You see stage lights on top of it, and all of these combine to make a good event picture. You see everything in one particular picture here. The next picture is of a guitarist, and you again see lights in the back, and the picture is in itself very symmetric. You see that there are 3 lights to the left of the performer, you see 3 lights to the right of the performer, you see that the person performing is in the center of the picture, which makes it very symmetric, and thus the picture looks very simple and yet very beautiful. The colors are also in this picture are very nice. You see some sort of smoke going in the background. You see that the performer has light on his face looks clear. So this is what makes an event photo, you know, beautiful in itself. Then this one is also an event picture where someone is playing drums. He's really happy playing the drums. You don't see much anything in the background. The background is mostly black, but what you see is that you see his drums properly. You see that he's playing. You see that he's happy playing the drums, which shows a very good feel to the picture. It has a very good feel to the whole picture, and it shows that people were enjoying at the event, and this is what this picture probably conveys as well. So now kids, it's time for a small quiz from whatever we have learned till now. Please use the link below to check the questions and fill up your answers in the next few minutes. I hope all of you have found the link and can access the questions. Go fill up your answers, and then we will discuss the same here as well. I see that some of you have started submitting your answers. Let's wait for a few more minutes for the rest of the people to fill up the answers as well, and then we'll discuss the solutions here. Yes, let's hurry. Let's wait for a few more minutes and then we'll discuss the solutions. I see that some of you have started filling the answers already. Let's give a few more seconds and then we'll start discussing. Sure. So I think let's start discussing with the first question and the first picture. So the first picture, as you can see, is a architectural picture. It's an architecture picture, and it is quite evident, and you can see that this is picture of a building, and it's a nighttime shot, but it's a building, and then you can see the lights from the building. You can see that it's some department in some college maybe, or it's an institute, and this it explains why we call it an architectural picture. Then the second shot, when we look at it, the second shot is someone coming out of a phone, and as I had shown you an example of this, that this is some sort of a creative picture which is based on certain concept. It's based on some concept that things are coming out of a phone, which is not something that usually exists, that does not simply exist, but that is happening. So this is something that will fall into the conceptual or a creative field of photography. All right. Then the third picture looks like a band performing on a stage, clicked from maybe behind the stage, similar to an example that I have shown you guys before. And thus the third picture is of an event. It's an event photograph. Okay. I hope all the three questions are clear to all of you kids. Then the next type of picture that we have is food photography. Basically, we all go out to eat, we all have good food at home, the food looks good to even look at, that we want to have that food instantly, we want to eat that food just looking at it. And when we try to click picture of those food items, we need to make sure that it looks as delicious, as tasty as we see in the pictures as well, so that whoever we are showing those pictures of our delicious, of our tasty food to, they also feel the same things. And this picture of a cookie with you see some sort of cherries on the top and the bottom, you see some sort of maybe flour on the bottom of the picture, and the main concentration, your eye goes to the cookie directly, and it looks very tasty to even look at. I'll tell you in the coming classes of how the light is so perfect on the cookie, how why there is a book in the background, where book kind of does not make sense, like why will someone keep their delicious cookie on a book, right? But then I'll tell you more about these things in the coming classes, that how we basically set the light around these pictures. Maybe even if you look at me right now, you see a light coming onto my face, you see that there's some sort of light coming from here. So I'll tell about how we set light in the picture in the coming classes. Also, now let's look at this second picture, which is of a dessert. It's a sweet dish, looks like a gulab jamun, and it's placed inside a glass with probably custard in it. Alright, and we have in the background two lamps which give this sweets a festival vibe. This picture could maybe help you relate with the festival of Diwali, which is the festival of lights that we celebrate. So this picture, this photograph of this sweet dish will give you a feeling of looking at sweets when you maybe that you serve at Diwali. So these are the emotions that food photography pictures should inculcate, should give out to the people looking at these pictures. Now the next genre that we have is landscape photography. What is a landscape photography? In very easy terms, is clicking any natural place, like in this picture, for example, we see mountains in the picture, we see sky, we see trees. So this is all what constitutes, this is what all which makes a landscape picture. This is the picture of nature in its true form. Even when we look at this second picture, we see that there are green trees, specific to some trees, probably specific to mountains. We also see some smaller houses in this picture, and we also see mountains in the back which are covered with snow, and we also see blue clouds in the background. We also see white clouds which look like cotton candy maybe, and this is what makes the landscape pictures look beautiful, and these are the type of pictures that we call landscape pictures in general. Now the next type of photo that I want to show you guys is macro photography. What is macro photography? Does anyone want to take any guesses? Yes, so macro photography is basically when we click pictures of something very close to it. Like in this picture, you see that this is the picture of a watch, and the picture has been clicked from very close to the watch, and thus you see the dials, the logo, very sharp, like something that we generally don't see with our eyes. But then some special form of using settings in your mobile or maybe settings in your camera, you can click pictures like these, and these sort of very close-up pictures are known as macro pictures. These are called as macro photography, which is photography of very small things which seem to look very big in these pictures. Then the next type of photography that I would like to tell you kids about is nighttime photography. Now, in this picture, you see that we have a lot of stars. This picture is clicked in Manali, where there is very less pollution, and thus you see more stars than our usual cities where there's a lot of air pollution, and thus we cannot see a lot of stars with our eyes. Here we see different type of trees. We also see stars in the background, and these are what night pictures specifically are. Then this other picture is also a late evening or a nighttime picture where you see that lights are very dim. There's a car going which has headlights showing, and these are the type of pictures that are specifically nighttime pictures. How we can click these pictures using our mobile phones or using our cameras? We can do it using both. We can even click these pictures using mobile phones. I'll tell you in our coming classes of how you can use your mobile phone to click pictures like these, where you see that a car is in motion. You can't see the car very properly because it's in motion. And how you guys can click pictures of cars or objects which are in motion and they look like they are moving in the pictures itself. I'll tell you more about it in the coming classes. So now kids, we again have a quiz for you guys from whatever we have learned till now. Please use the link and see the questions mentioned in the quiz. Fill up your answers and then we will discuss the solutions again here. I'll give you a few minutes to go to the quiz and fill up your answers. I hope you all can find the link and have started the quiz. I see some of you have started filling up the answers. Let's wait for a few more minutes for the rest of the people to fill in, and then we will start discussing the solutions as well. Let's wait for a few more seconds for others to fill up as well, and then we will start discussing the answers. I see that most of you have filled up the answers. I think we can start discussing with the first picture. The first picture here, as you can see, is of some sort of food lying on the table and it's clicked from above. Thus, we can easily say that it's a food photography, it's a food picture, and thus it will fall into that category. We have seen examples of this before as well, and you can see there's delicious food on the table and we have clicked a picture of that. We move on to the second question, which is picture of a hill in the background, and you see river flowing, you see beautiful skies, beautiful trees, and we have seen similar examples of pictures of what we call, and it falls into landscape photography. All right. Then we have the third picture, which is a picture of a boy standing there, and you see stars in the background, you see a moon, and you see some sort of lights floating there, and thus this picture can be easily categorized into a night photography kind of picture. It can be a night picture or a night photography. All right, I hope all the three questions were clear to you guys. Now the next type of pictures are very common type of pictures. These are portrait pictures. Basically, portrait pictures means pictures of maybe a subject, a human being or an animal. These type of pictures are called as portrait pictures. Okay, any doubts still here? Okay, so these portrait pictures could be of any human being. Like for example, you see a girl in this picture with some trees in the background, you see light coming from behind her, and this is what makes portrait pictures what they are. You also see that the background is very blurred. You see that the trees are not very clear in this picture. The major concentration, your focus and your eyes goes on the subject, the girl in this picture, and not on the background. and that is what make portrait pictures a little different. I'll tell you more about how we can click these type of pictures in this class itself using our mobile phones. There's another portrait picture that is there. You see some lights in the foreground and you see some lights in her hands. We can do a lot of creative things. We can do a lot of different things in our portrait pictures, which can, you know, make them different than something that we usually click, pictures of our friends. We can use these small tips and tricks to make those normal portrait pictures of ourselves or our friends a little better. Then there's another type of pictures that you must have seen all around the internet, or you know, the things that you buy. Those are product pictures. Basically, pictures for anything that you buy in the supermarket, that they have some pictures, maybe in their advertising, maybe in some TV ads, some newspaper ads. They show some pictures, right? And these pictures are also clicked by someone. Okay, and this is one such example. This is basically a candy box that this picture is clicked for, and there's some sort of candle, some sort of leaves in the foreground. You know, you see on the right side there are some leaves. They basically make the, you know, the actual product, the thing that is being advertised, look a little better. Like the leaves tell that, you know, maybe the ingredients are healthy and they come from nature. You know, these things could be told by the what the picture shows basically. This is the second product photo that I want to show you, kids. This picture is of a DSLR camera, and along with that I have placed a camera bag, which basically relates with a camera, because a camera always comes with its camera bag, and thus this picture makes sense. This picture has some meaning to it, and thus this picture looks good in it. The next and the last type of pictures that I want to show you, kids, is street photography. Looks and sounds a little different, right? What are street pictures though? Street pictures are the type of pictures that you click of people doing their everyday things, but you don't tell them about it. These are not posed pictures. These pictures are what we call candid pictures, pictures that you click generally without telling people in their natural habitat doing things that they do usually, and you just capture those pictures, those moments of people. So this picture is of a man transporting something on a buffalo. They have some load, the buffalo is going. It looks like a very you know, empty road on maybe some early morning time. Then this next picture is of a man in a mechanic shop. I know it's a mechanic shop because I was the one who had clicked this picture. But this man was looking for customers that are arriving in his shop. This was a picture clicked in Chandni Chowk in Delhi, which is the old Delhi area, and they have very small shops. It was clicked in late evening, and you know, the overall eyes of this old man working in a shop, looking out for customers, all of this has a lot of emotions and a lot of stories involved into those pictures, and that is what street pictures are about. Street pictures should tell story about someone doing their, you know, day-to-day activities, their day-to-day work. And then the last picture is of a temple where we can see two people in the front and maybe one or two people would be in the back that we don't see in this picture. But these people are carrying some lady probably up to the temple. What I wanted to show through this picture is that, you know, they are working very hard for, you know, to earn their livelihoods, to earn money for their family, and they are doing hard work, and you know, they are doing this for the sake of their livelihoods. All right, kids, we again have a wonderful quiz for you. Please use the link and fill up your answers so that we can discuss the same with you after you have given the quiz as well. Please head over to the quiz and then fill up your answers. I hope that some of you have started filling in the answers as well. Let's wait for a few more minutes and then we will start discussing about the questions in the quiz. Let's wait for a few more seconds for others to fill in as well, and then we will start discussing the answers here. I think most of you have filled up the answers. Let's start with discussing the pictures one by one. The first picture, as you can see, is of a girl standing between birds flying, and she looks beautiful. She's looking at the camera and her hair are flying. So it can easily be said that this is a portrait picture of that particular girl, and thus it falls into portrait photography kind of picture. Alright. Then we look at the second picture, which is of two people holding a card of a particular brand, and thus since we are advertising a brand, it is an ad for a brand. This can be easily said to be a product photography or a product picture. Alright kids. Then we have the third and the last picture. It's of a man walking his horse. It could be of any place, but this looks like his we are capturing his day-to-day routine. And thus, since I've talked about this previously, that street photographs are nothing but capturing moments of people in their day-to-day lives, we can easily say that this is a street photography or a street picture. Alright kids, I hope this was understandable enough for all of you guys. Alright kids, so that is it for this particular class. I hope that you have understood almost everything that I have taught in this class. I would want you guys to use your smartphone or any other type of camera available with you, and would want you to capture one picture of anything that you like the most around you. It could be anything in your house. It could be maybe you capturing the sunset from your roof. It could be anything in your neighborhood as well. But click any one picture that you think is your favorite and submit it on our portal. The steps for doing the same will be available at the end of this class as well. Till then kids, thank you so much for joining this class, and I will see you all in the next class. I hope you all stay well. Thank you.
Hi everyone, we are excited to have you here in today's fun-filled learning session at YOLO. Here is a quick look at how you can submit your work after the class. As a first step, go to live.yolo.com. You can use any browser to access this site. On this page, you will see a list of all our classes. Scroll down and you can see the Submit Your Work button. And then you will see a list of the classes that you've last attended, which could, for example, show the dance or craft or science experiment classes you've attended recently. Next, it will show you the list of children whose names are registered in this mobile number. Choose your name from this list to submit your work. For instance, if you are Satvik Kumar, choose that name. And then choose the class for which you would like to make your submission. For example, if you've attended the New Year's Masquerade Party session and you'd like to make the submission for this class, click on the Submit Your Work button below that. And then upload the photo you've taken. Choose the image from your phone and click Submit. You can scroll down and view all your past submissions and see how many of your friends or peers have liked your work. You can also see others' work and like their work to inspire your friends. If you want to showcase your work on social media, that too is very simple. Click on Share, copy the link and post it on Instagram or Facebook or any other platform of your choice. Just a tiny reminder, your submission looks a lot better if you could click a photo in the landscape mode rather than the portrait mode. Do not forget to tag us at YOLO_app. I'm eagerly looking forward to all your submissions right after this